Right.
So now, and I believe there's one more. I know I'm
Twitter?
missing one. Huh?
Twitter?
No, they
No.
don't own
Twitter's
Twitter
not owned
yet.
by Facebook?
No,
Oh,
Twitter was Dorsey, and Dorsey's been kicked out of there. So that's,
okay.
that's a good thing.
Okay.
And the idea is that rebranding, and now it's called Meta. It's no longer called Facebook. It's Meta. And what they're trying to do is to create a virtual world that we can all participate in. And what do I mean? The idea is you can use the Oculus, like the virtual reality, and you can go into this world and they're recreating a virtual world, a copy of our world inside of there. And we're going to be able to, from what I understand, and what Mark Zuckerberg, or the animatronic of Mark Zuckerberg, says, is that we're going to be able to buy, sell, work, play, fall in love, date, have fun, everything inside of there. That's crazy.
So have we reached the future? Are we there yet?
I mean, it's a very dark one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I agree with what you're saying.
But-
I see what you're saying, man.
Because
I
that's
agree.
very. It's the kind of thing that you see in futuristic movies.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
Right.
It's the kind of thing that it looks far away, but we're actually getting there.
Well, yeah, it's something. It's like you said, it's something we see in movies, and it's something that how many times have we seen that it doesn't work out well for humanity?
It never does.
It's crazy. Like, if anybody wants to think, the idea is always sold as, oh, well, this is really playful and fun. And here's a concept that people may not think about, because some people may be going, oh man, here comes metaverse, gonna be awesome. Blah, 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 blah. That's fine. And if you want to do metaverse, okay, but let me just give you this little fine print at the bottom. The people that created the smartphones and created social media, the people that created social media, not the smartphones, created social media, they actually wrote an algorithm to try to get people addicted. And they actually are saying themselves that they regret doing it because they didn't realize the effect it was going to have on young people, even adults. There are so many people. I know we brought this up before. I know I like to talk about this a lot, but there's so many people that are tied to their phones. It happens to us. How many times do you, by reflex, pick up your phone and look at it, and it becomes an addiction? And now we're going to go into a world that, at the beginning, it's going to come off as, hey, let's just go in there and have some fun. Let's just enjoy just something momentary. What else is going to be in the metaverse? Like, do we know what else they're trying to put in there?
Right.
Well, I know you can already make, basically, you can mine on metaverse already. You can get NFTs and enter the crypto exchange on there already. So, I mean, there's people going in there trying to make money, spending a lot of time already in the metaverse, and thinking that, and they're saying, well, it's something new. I don't have to really be myself. It's something fun. It's something different. And I don't know. I don't see it that way.
You don't see it which way? Like, so,
Like, it was like something fun. I look at it as something daunting.
So what if the whole metaverse thing wasn't a form of a new life? It's just, let's say, the only feature of the metaverse is like work, for example. Because from the Facebook Live, when they were launching the idea of metaverse and all that, the idea of working from home kind of sounded plausible.
Mm-hmm.
You know how over the last couple of years,
a
lot of people started working from home, and they realized, oh, this is possible, this is doable, and this is even convenient. And that's why, let's say,
for a lot of people, it doesn't even make
companies
sense.
moved from out of like certain states like California, with higher taxes, to go somewhere else where they can just work from home.
Right.
So, in the live stream, Zuckerberg's talking about how you can be in the office, in the virtual office, like you're in the company, but you're still at home.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do the same things that you would be able to do in the office, but from home. So that sounds kind of like promising. But I think what I have a problem with is that your whole life is going to go into that augmented reality. Everything.
Right.
Literally everything. You're going to hang out with friends, it's going to be on there. You're going to go partying, it's going to be on there. You're going to go to school, it's going to be on there. You're going to buy stuff is going to be on there.
Well, and something you just said, and we were reading earlier. So there is a difference between virtual reality and augmented reality. And the idea is, if you guys have seen Free Guy, if you walk into a store, you see nothing. Absolutely, everything's just like we're normal. It's normal. We're what we're accustomed to seeing. And you put on a pair of glasses, and those glasses or your cell phone will let you see a figure or something that's there virtually, right? But you can only see it with certain glasses. So what this guy was saying was, people are going to learn to participate in the metaverse with their goggles and whatever. And if they don't have an account, they're not active in there, that they won't be able to participate in the augmented reality in the real world. So if you're like, you know what, I'm not going to participate in your virtual reality experiment, screw you. And you go to the store and there's no price on anything, and a person with glasses who is part of the metaverse walks in, will be like, oh, I see the prices. They can see the prices because they're all augmented reality. But you, who are not a part of it, will be ostracized, taken out of society for not participating. Wow. So you won't be able to see the prices. It's like, oh, you want to be a part of? Okay, join the metaverse. You can buy it from there. You can get your money, your crypto, and everything, blah, blah, blah. And you can see the prices through AR, through augmented reality. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, you would have to wear the Oculus or whatever in the that's from like Facebook, so, right?
Yeah.
So that thing is like what, $200, $300?
$200-$300. There's other people manufacturing them, but yeah.
So I don't think people are really wanting to spend that money in one shot just to be able to start something, you know?
Yeah, but
that's why they're trying to get you in playing the games. They're trying to get you in by playing the games. If it's like playing. They're trying to market it as playing PlayStation or Xbox, and they're trying to get, hey, just buy the Oculus and you can play these games on here, and it's fun, and that's how they're getting people to get into it.
What I was thinking about, the PS5 was released last year or this year?
2 years ago, I believe.
Okay, and I know that there's a crazy wait list to get a PS5 because I don't know what it is. Didn't they like produce enough PS5s or what it is?
Where do they produce them? China?
I don't know. I don't know where they produce them, but I know that nobody has them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the problem was they came out right before COVID. So I believe they were released right before COVID came to the US. So everybody got video games. Oh. And they just bought every single
because you're locked up in the house
system. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was kind of surprised. You know, the demand for video games has always been crazy. And every time there's a new PlayStation, everybody wants to get it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, why aren't they ready for that?
So that's interesting because the other thing too, I remember being a kid playing video games, and I've been not a huge gamer, but I really liked video games, and I was good at them. I was like, wow, they were talking about Nintendo, Atari, the Commodore, the Atari.
I think the oldest one I played was Nintendo 64.
Wow. Okay.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, that's still that's old. But I played the Atari 2600, and then I had which is one button, one joystick, and then we got the Nintendo, and I was pretty good. And I was like, wow. And it was always that, man. If you spend so much time playing games, like you did studying, you can do this, you can do that. Nowadays, there's people that make money playing games,
and so much money.
It's like, I feel like, really, that's how you make your money. And okay, I mean, I'm not knocking them. What I'm saying is, I never thought that would be an avenue to make money.
Right.
You're not going to be very healthy unless this guy, or who knows, maybe I'm just judging them. Maybe he does work out like crazy and he plays games. I don't know. But I haven't seen many fit gamers. They're usually not very fit at all. But the concept of I don't know. I'm sorry. I have such a hard time thinking like we're about to throw ourselves in a world where you're going to live in, you're going to enjoy who knows what they're going to put out there for us. Somebody brought up today, because we were talking about this at the dinner table, and they were saying it's going to be like WALL-E, the Disney movie WALL-E. Yeah. We remember that movie, right?
Yeah.
Are we all together on that one? Just people sitting there getting all fat with these goggles on, just like the Oculus. And, to the point of what you were saying of, will people spend the money just to do that? The idea of this article that I was reading through, if you guys would like to see it, go ahead and hit us on social media. I'll be happy to send you the article. But it was talking about, the guy was explaining that the idea is to changed cell phones out for these optical devices. And I don't know if you guys remember it was like 2008, maybe even earlier, Google came out with the Google Glasses. And the Google Glasses, you were supposed to be able to get cell phone capabilities on your glasses, and you would have somewhat of a heads-up display. And it was like, dude, I'm going to be like Tony Stark.
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah. And then that project got scrapped. I'm like, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys do that? I was like, please get it. I want to get Google Glasses. I'm going to do this. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they weren't ready. Maybe this was what they were waiting for.
Right.
Now that we're dependent of our phones, it's like, hey, let me give you these glasses that'll let you participate in this experiment. And now you can actually use them, and you won't need those goggles. Maybe you can just use the glasses to jump in. I don't know.
Right.
So,
I was watching a few minutes of Zuckerberg introducing Metaverse and all of that. And in the first 5 minutes, he was like, "You can spend time with your friends and get together." And I paused the video and laughed. And Rick, you heard me before, and I was like, it's another step in replacing human interaction. I was like,
right.
You could just look at somebody face to face, but we've seen over the past year and a half, 2 years now with COVID, with people separating themselves from their friends and families because of COVID and not wanting that human interaction. They're locking themselves inside their houses, whether their country is locking them down in their houses or whether it's a personal choice to lock themselves down in their houses. They're doing that, and they're using FaceTime and other avenues to be able to see their families.
Communicate directly.
And communicate. And this would be the general direction that people are going in, because they don't want to either. They're getting so used to not seeing people face to face that they want to just live alone.
If I was a conspiratorial person, I would think, wow, you couldn't have pulled this off pre-COVID. I think most people would have rejected the idea. But because we've created this whole, hey, stay away from people, bad, nasty, people can have germs, which we've always had. People will kill you if you get close to them. People like distancing people, not having to deal with them. Mm-hmm. I think the idea makes sense. Going cashless society makes sense. All these things about, you don't touch money because money has COVID on it, and it can have this and it can have that. And we're just buying right into this whole idea. And it's kind of scary. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Their son is in college and he's in a dorm. And they were saying that the parents get a chance to be a part of a community, and they do surveys and they ask questions and concerns about their children. So the parents of the kids in these dorms can participate in. And she was saying that a lot of the kids were having a hard time creating true connections and creating friendships inside of their dorm. Some of it had to do because some of them just had anxiety from being away from home. Some of it had to do because some kids just didn't want to engage with others. Some of them just don't know how to. They don't have the social skills, and whatever it may be. But that's crazy. How can you, I don't know. For me, it's so hard to believe that I'm going to be in a dorm with, 200 people my age.
Yeah.
Of 200, there's got to be 3 that have a similar interest, unless that kid is just completely brainwashed or just so stuck in a world of, I hate to keep picking on social media, but, so stuck in their phones that they don't know how to interact with people. So what is this metaverse going to do to people when somebody decides to disconnect, or if that's all they know their whole life? Kids that get raised in this. That's a scary thought.
You're already seeing it with our phones. I mean, I as a truck driver, I drive past school buses, and 5-10 years ago, every kid on that school bus would have been pumping their arms for the truck driver to give them the air horn.
Right.
And now,
that's right.
And now I look over at those kids, and every single one of them has their face buried in their cell phone.
That's so sad.
And it can be in elementary school all the way up into high school. Every single one. And the funny thing is, the stigma is you get the bad kids on the back of the bus, and it's always the last 2 rows that always give me the arm pump.
Oh, really?
They're the ones talking in the back to each other. And they don't have, but the rest of the bus has their head buried in. So the bus is passing me. I'll be looking over, and I'll see all the kids with their heads buried into their phones or have their earbuds in, and they'll look at me. Some of them will look at me, or they're always doing something. They're always distracted. and they're always listening to something or watching their phones. And it's funny, just the last 2 rows, every time, give me the arm pump to go.